Flava on 947.
Today, a man who needs no introduction because he is a household name in South African music and he's part of South African music royalty. Musician, rapper, businessman, Motswako originator, Khuli Chana.
Yeah!
What's going on, dog?
Dog, I'm looking at you and just how 94.7 looks good on you, buddy.
Thanks for dog. And your outfit actually goes well with our studio setup as well. But thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for bringing me out, man.
Listen, you have been a part of our culture for many, many years.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes I see old pics of you.
Ammunition posted a pic of me looking ashy.
Was that the other day? I saw that. Who else was in that picture? Because I think there were 3-4 of you. Was that the one?
It was myself, Ammunition. I don't know who was also in that pic. I think Salvin, but I think it was back in the days of like baseline.
Yeah.
Those days were rough.
They were, because there was a different kind of energy and there was a different rawness, and I want to tap into that a bit. But you know, with you, you have your entire career as Khuli Chana.
Yeah.
And that's life pretty much after Morafe.
Yeah.
So, it was a debate for me. It's like, okay, where do I start? Do I go to Morafe days, or do I just say, you know what? Let me start when Khuli went solo. So I made a choice.
Yeah.
I made an executive editorial decision.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to start when Khuli went solo.
Yeah.
Because also, it gives us an opportunity to go back to your Morafe days as well.
Yeah.
So I want to go back there, Khuli. I want to go back to one of my favorite songs that you put out when you went solo.
Yeah.
No More Hunger.
Woo. Yeah.
I mean, this was sort of like around that 2010 time, 2009, 10?
That's 2009, 10. That's, I was moving with JR.
Yes, he's on the song. Yeah.
So a little backstory on the song. This is the first beat that I got from Keenan Forbes, aka with Gamza and Books.
Oh, that was fifth season?
Ivy League.
Ivy League. That's
League.
it. The Ivy League. Yes.
So they bomb rushed me at an event. I think it was Oskido had Rap Life. What's this? Rap Activity Jam reunion at Primi Piatti at Rosebank.
In Rosebank.
Yeah.
Upstairs.
These guys showed up with a beat tape, and on that beat tape was that No More Hunger beat that samples Double HP, No More Hunger, No More Tlala.
Yes.
And one of my lines from the whole thing.
Oh,
Things we do for my man.
Yeah.
And I just thought, nah, I'm not feeling this beat. I like it, but nah, I'm not sure about this one. And track 5 on there was Sock Stickin' that became a street classic.
That was like a jam. You know what I'm saying?
And then JR got the beat and he came up with the hook. Him and Toady actually came up with the hook because I couldn't find my pocket in it. I was just like, I don't know how to finesse.
But you don't want to let it go because you can hear there's something going on. Yeah.
And they were like, yo, you are sleeping on the smash.
Yo.
And they came up with the hook. I worked on the song, and you know the saying, speaking things into existence and be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
You might just get it. Because right after No More Hunger, I don't think I've ever been broke.
I like that. And I was just thinking about the fact, let's just pause on the talking. Let's play the damn song.
Yeah, let's take it there.
Hey. When you hear the song, bro, how does it make you feel?
Hey man, it takes me back to when I got my first apartment. I'll never forget that day when I woke up. I woke up that morning. I'm in Lone Hill on Sunset Boulevard Street. I had no furniture, but I was the happiest dude alive.
So you were living like the Midrand cats, you know?
Dude. Because let me tell you, man, we came in at a time when the idea of making a buck out of this thing was just like so far-fetched. Really. It was just really like, call it legacy work, call it just making a mark, call it making a name, changing the game, but I'd never seen anybody make a living off it.
So explain this to me. When you started in music, I mean, did you think that did you have the same view that I'm not going to really make a living out of this, but it's something that's cool, that's fun, that I want to do because I've got the energy, I've got the inspiration, the cats that I see who are doing it, that sort of thing.
That's it, bro. Because, everybody, as far as I can remember, it definitely made my family super anxious.
Really? What were they hoping for you?
You know the line. Artists die pauper. Artists die poor.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Do you have something to fall back on? And da. So I really could not see it this far, but I knew that my purpose was to change the face and change, the perception of it. Period. Right? How do you make this thing bankable?
Yeah, but what was your reference? Because you were born in Mabatu.
I was born in Mabatu,
in the Northwest, and obviously you spend a lot of time in Mahikeng, which at some level is a historic place in terms of talent that we see in the country to this date. But what were your references where you were like, okay, you see how that person's doing it? That's kind of like where I want to go.
Oh, yes. Stone, Bongo Mafe.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I've been a fan of Stone since I was a kid. Stone has been cool since the beginning of time.
To this day, he's still cool.
Since the beginning of time.
Even we look older than him now.
You know what I mean? Prof of Buffy Tlile, who pioneered Motswako with Blacksmith. Double HP was the first guy to give me my first paycheck.
What had you done for him?
So I was his hype man. We toured with Jabba as Morafe.
Yeah.
But he grew fond of me, Joe. He wouldn't let me out of his sight. When we were working on his Omang album, and I remember that moment when everybody had to go home, and he was like, "Please stay." Stay a little longer.
What did he say to you?
If you bump that album, you'll catch that I'm on a lot of joints, be it just in the background or
because he just wanted you there.
Yeah, he drew a lot from me. I drew a lot from him, and I became his lieutenant. I became a soldier.
Wow.
And I learned a lot from Jabba, just how he moved, just his humility.
Yeah.
And how he worked the room, and yeah, man. He gave me those jewels and keys to longevity in the game.
Yeah, because he had done it all, the hits, the TV shows, the endorsements, the deals. So that was the blueprint, right?
Definitely.
Right,
the blueprint.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously in the midst of that, rolling with Morafe, for some time you were rolling in a clique.
Yeah.
And, you speak about no more hunger. Was that just for fun? Are you telling me that nothing came of that helped you make a living during your time with Morafe?
You know what? We were getting money off obviously, of shows, touring, but it did get to a point where it wasn't sustainable.
Okay.
It got to a place where it became a little bit desperate.
What do you mean?
It's like, what I mean is, and at the time I didn't have this kind of financial structure. So basically, you gig on a Friday.
Yeah.
By Monday, that money with chwatli is done. You spent all that money.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't enough to sustain. So and it got even tougher when we were now growing into our individual, I was growing into myself.
Yeah.
So you move out of the Morafe house, you get your own pad, and things get real.
And it also coincides with growing up as a young boy and a young man as well, right? That the life thing.
Yeah.
The life thing as well. All right. And then we have to go back to No More Hunger very quickly before we move on, because that song had incredible amount of brain on it and creativity. When you talk about AKA and the Ivy League, you mentioned JR.
Yeah.
There were other people on that song as well.
And and that's been the golden thread. All my hits have this collaborative effort, So on this song you have AKA Young Keenan Forbes, Books, and Kamza. And at the time they went by the name Ivy League. That was the biggest production crew. You've got JR, Khatalina JR at the peak of his career.
New wave.
Make the circle bigger.
New
JR.
wave.
You've got Toady Mac of Morafe.
Yeah.
Music video was directed by Nick Roo, another young man by the name of Tepo D from Botswana, who was like a super like Hype Williams fan. This guy's brains was just amazing, right? And on this video, I had the ninjas Relapse. I don't know if you remember Relapse. Yeah, these guys, these ninjas used to come out in these ninja attires, and they was just like amazing dancers. Just like gave me this mystique, you know? And yeah, man. And we shot the video out in Yeovil, not scripted. And I remember this guy said, he was like, we're not gonna script everything. We're just gonna capture the life out here in Yeovil and this hunger you've got, you know, to like make it big in the game. And I literally spoke my life into existence on that song, you know. And at the time, to be real with you, I was just tired, bro. I was tired of hitching rides. I was just tired of being broken by the music industry and by the game. Yeah,
sure. And it was a stage where it was all or nothing, and going solo kind of means that because you're going out in the wild.
Yeah, and it meant like if I fail, I'm dragging the whole of my feet gang down with me.
We're going to chat some more about your musical journey because it's been quite stellar. And I mean, of course, bar dodging a few bullets and catching some here and there, but it's been quite a career. Khuli Chana live on 947. And on this Friday, it is my first hit with one of South Africa's greatest. His name is Khuli Chana. There isn't a song that you don't know from Khuli Chana through the ages. And from the point of Motswako Originator, back in 2010, that album dropped. You've kind of built your career. So obviously, there was no sense of making a living, but then you got so hungry that you realized that, boom, I need to make a living now. And that's what you did.
Yeah, I had the right team. You know, so I had Dream Team that's Rufilo Ramokase and Kaugelo Mapai. And, you know, they had this vision. I remember when I walked into the office for the first time, man, and they had a whole pitch deck. I had never seen a pitch deck with my name on.
As to what we're going to do with your brand.
This is what we're going to do with your brand. And before that, so, you know, I lined up a couple of interviews and getting guys to come and pitch for, you know, for a management position. And guys were promising me choppers. One guy said, listen, we're thinking about getting you a chopper for the double bookings.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
So you would actually go out and look for management, and you would go through the process of trying to find the right person.
Yeah.
I mean, just on that, because you mentioned Dream Team and all of that, the brainstorming, etc. How do you know you're working with the right team? I mean, how do you know whether or not this is the right team? Is working with them the only way to find out?
Vision is everything. So they give you the end in mind. This is the ultimate goal, but this is where we're gonna start. So, you know, they're not selling you dreams. It's like, listen, right now you charging 2K per show. We're gonna push you up to about 7, but this is how we're gonna do it.
Sure.
We want to build a brand, so we want more. We're gonna take you for some media training. This is what we're gonna do. So they literally gave me the call it the blueprint, but you know, a whole plan and vision and how, and made it so easy on my ears and fun, you know, and it's the little things, you know, like just being punctual.
For example, like for an interview.
Yeah,
right.
It started
like today,
with
you rocked up like 20 minutes before the interview.
Yeah, it started with the little things, and those are the things. Those are those principles that have really given me longevity in the game. Because when you hit that drought season, those people never forget.
Yes, they never forget about your work ethic, being on time, respecting the people you work with.
Yeah, that promoter goes, "Why don't you get Khuli, man? He'll be here on time."
Yeah,
you know,
and he's gonna pitch.
Yeah, you know? So shout out to Dream Team. You know, they gave me those jewels, and that's what's kept me going.
I mean, let's talk about that, building, you know, a legacy, because is music the only thing that you make a living out of? And was that the thought in mind as you were navigating through your career? And at what point did you realize perhaps that it can't just be the music that is the thing that's making the living for me?
Yeah, you got to build a solid brand. And from that comes what we call sync deals. So for me, it got interesting when we got our first sync deal. So sync deal is, say KFC takes one of your songs for a commercial and has you perform, and they will have you perform in that same commercial. And then they will, you know, put your face on billboards all over, all over the country, and have you touring.
And they pay you for all of that.
And pay you for all of that. And then out of that comes a Mufftown Heights headlining sponsor, same brand.
Sure.
Then, goes all the way to a TV show. Remember The Hustle?
Yeah, The Hustle. I remember that. That was dope on Vuzu. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sponsored by the same brand.
Yeah.
And when I realized, damn, you could stretch one deal for like 4 to 5 years and not have to gig, and it's just off your brand.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's crazy.
So then are there periods then where you were like, I don't really have to put out music right now? Does that ever happen?
Yeah. There's a period where, I was liquid and lazy.
So you were sitting on dollar.
There's a
Where
period.
did that money come from?
Oh, that was liquid and lazy, man. And I started to dabble. I started to, jump into other ventures and try and invest. I've been scammed. I've been
Really?
I've had a lot of failed ventures. Oh God. Oh man.
I'm
I'm gonna put out a Netflix movie about how I got scammed. That deserves like a 6-part series. Like, oh man.
So a business deal that was just a joke, a hoax.
A whole like the scam. Of like, wow, it was a whole hoax, man. And you learn from that, because I started becoming desperate. I got to a point where I was like, geez, I need to start working on my exit strategy, And I remember having this conversation with Temba, Euphonic at the time. I was like, yo, I'm working on my exit strategy. He's like, exit for what?
As in to leave music completely?
To leave music. He's like,
Why?
exit for what? Stay in the music, right?
Why?
I don't know, because I think my fear was like, you're never gonna make it to 40.
Still on stage.
On stage.
So, bumping the crowd.
So you gotta figure out how to tap out while you're still hot,
So what changed your mind?
Hey man, the music is my true calling. And every 3 years or so, I want to put out a statement about how I'm retiring, and it keeps calling me back.
And how are you feeling now? Because you've dropped Khuli Chana, which we're going to play in just a moment.
Yeah.
It came out last week. But are you at a point now where that statement is on ice?
That statement is on ice, bro. I will never retire. I think you retire when there's no music left in you, and you don't even need to make an announcement for something like that. And I think it's the music that got me my first international trip, got me my first car, my first apartment, my first everything, my first pair of kicks,
Sure.
Got me into spaces, I could have never imagined, and, I built this network from just singing songs.
Sure.
So I have a great respect, for my craft now and what it's been able to do,
Khuli Chana joins me right now on 947, My First Hit, and so much more. In a moment, we're going to play Khuli Chana, brand new music that you dropped last week, and we'll talk about the game as he sees it and where things are going. Stay with us. It's coming up next. You can also hashtag MoFlavor on 947. Brand new Khuli Chana. It is called Khuli Chana on 947. Hearing it on the station for the first time. Dropped last week, Friday.
Yeah.
So, Khuli Chana, should I do the math or you want to explain it?
We don't have to do the math. I think it's self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory, dog.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Khuli in the Chana era.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I like to reinvent. But on a deeper level, this song is true testament that South Africa has had such a great influence musically on the continent. Right?
Sure.
So this song is produced by a young Malawian kid by the name of Vino Kelvin.
Wow.
Who grew up, on that Kwaito, TKZ, Mdu, Trompis, and SA hip hop. And this is what he came up with.
Yeah, because there's an influence of both the Llanos and some Kwaito there.
Yeah.
So tell us about that, especially the Kwaito bit as well.
Yeah. So when he first gave me the beat, he was like, dude, I just want to take it back to that Kwaito era. Then I brought in a young kid by the name of Luigi Anywhere who did that Jinda Dai Ding, Jinda Dai Ding, Jinda Dai Ding. And he was just mumbling. And I was just like, yo, keep that. I like it. And then we had Stino Litweni who heard the joint.
Nice. Nice.
I think 3 months later, because I wasn't too sure. I was uncertain. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if we have one. They heard the song. They were like, you've got to smash. They jumped in, did a few ad-libs. Who else is on the song? Cageism. I've been moving with Cageism since I was 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a marriage.
That's a marriage. Yo, me and KG been doing this thing since we were kids.
Yeah.
And today he's like, he's been behind every smash hit.
That's crazy.
And so this is, Khuli in this era of the Yano, and I've got a concept EP coming out, and you're gonna hear a lot of those Kwaito influences with the Yano, and I still rap. We don't have to lose that.
Are you subbing a few rappers by saying that?
Nah, I'm just trying to let I'm just trying to let the rap community
that you're still there.
Relax, I'm still here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, that was an easy transition for me to make. If you go back to my catalog, when I put out Konka, when I put out Hapele Hape,
Yes.
you know what I mean? The whole thing, when we became mainstream is when we took rap style and put it on Kwaito beats, and that was the game changer. So,
Beautiful.
Walk in the park.
All the best with the EP coming up. You let us know about that as well.
Yeah.
In amongst all of this, you're a married man. You gotta take care of the marriage.
Yeah.
You're a dad. You gotta look after the kids.
Yeah.
So, how does that impact on how you move as an artist and as a businessman? Do you have to slow down? Do you not slow down because you got kids to feed? Like, how does that impact on how you move?
It's given me a solid structure.
Yeah.
I don't have to stay up or stay late or stay after the show at the club.
So after the performance, you go home, dog. You don't hang out for another 2 hours.
Go get the bag, go home.
Does Lamise call you and say, baby, go guy?
Exactly.
Literally on your last song, the phone is buzzing.
If I stay like an hour longer, I'm definitely getting that call, So it's just giving me a solid support system, man.
Sure.
And it's fun. Like now I move with purpose. Yeah, in the beginning it was hard. Like, hey, how are we gonna manage this? How are we gonna balance the two? But I've got a solid family, man, and they've made it so easy.
Sure.
And I think us being in the same business, we complement each other so well.
Because I'm just thinking, here's Khuli Chana, he's on a lineup at a gig somewhere, and then there's Lamise Holworthy, she's on a lineup gig somewhere, and that whole weekend, the parents ain't home.
Yeah.
Like, does it bother you guys, or is it just kind of like, do the kids kind of like get it?
No, here's the thing, we're both homebodies. Like, so when we're not working,
Yeah.
Netflixing and chilling.
Okay.
And so,
So that compensates.
Yeah, never been big on it's Wednesday night, let's go, there's a Showmax premiere for this, and we gotta be at every red carpet event. Nah. So, only move when we, booked for some, and we, so yeah, and I think when we're not working, we're home, and we just love that simplicity in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Listen, bro, we could talk for forever.
Yeah, man.
But I'm glad that you are still in the game and you want to be here.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
I'm not going anywhere, man.
Yeah, all the best of luck with everything. I love the fact that, in fact, people like you and Cleo have inspired me to go back to school. Because you recently graduated as well at AFTA, right?
Yes.
Congratulations on that. And I'm like, I need to go back. This is nonsense.
Dude, after 20 years, can you imagine? Going back to school after 20 years, it was tough. I was obviously the oldest guy in the class.
And so what?
But I killed it.
You were the oldest, most famous guy in the class.
And then I scooped Innovation of the Year. I did well, man.
Yeah.
I came out on tops, and best decision, best idea. I'm working on a digital platform that is gonna change the music industry someday, man.
Beautiful.
Can't
I love
wait
that.
for that. Yeah.
Khuli, love your work, bro. Love you always, and I appreciate the man that you are. All the best for the future, and we'll check out that EP when it drops. When? Is it before or after the documentary that you're dropping next year?
After. Thank you, Mo Flava.
Nice one. Khuli Chana on 947. Check out Khuli Chana. It is up. Get it on iTunes and all digital platforms.
Mo Flava on 947.